Jolene's intellectual capacity was somewhat limited.
Range Wilson.
There I was at GQ's in Colorado Springs having a great time with Jolene. The pool tournament was winding down, and the question on my mind was, would Jolene and I be spending the night together? So far, everything looked promising, but something told me I should strike while the iron was hot. I told Jolene that I was leaving GQ's and asked her if she would like to come along with me. She was a little confused about why I was leaving when we were having such a great time, but I insisted that my night at GQ's was done. Jolene pondered the situation for a few seconds and then decided to invite me over to her place to continue the party in private. When we got to her place, we headed to the bedroom right away. I took one look at the bed and said, "Oh no." This bed was absolutely luxurious. Just throws and shams and pillows and frills everywhere you looked. And it was all pure white. It was like the bed of a virginal princess. It was not a bed where you expected to get freaky. I got myself naked anyway and headed into the bathroom to get ready for bed, just like it was any other night, and I figured we were not going to be having sex after all. We'd climb into that luxurious virginal bed, and soon enough we'd both be snoring away. And I was okay with that. I'm not one of these guys who thinks sex is always the ultimate goal. Cuddling is fine as well, and it's much less work. Sure enough, when I get out of the bathroom, she's snuggled deep underneath the sheets, wearing a modest nightshirt. I climb into bed next to her and draw her close for a few minutes of cuddling before sleep. I reach down for one last feel of her spectacular backside, and I realize she is not wearing anything under the waist. At that moment, I realize we're going to be getting freaky after all. And we knock it out once, and it's real good. And we cuddle for a while, and then Jolene makes it clear that she's ready for round 2. So we knock it out again, and it's real good again. And now Jolene is done for the night. She curls up next to me and falls into a deep sleep. And I tell you what, lying there in that luxurious bed with Jolene snuggled up against me, I was at peace with the universe. My life could have faded to black at that moment, and I would not have objected at all. But as it turns out, the story of my life continued. I got a few hours sleep, and then 2 things woke me up. The first was the beautiful morning light filtering in through her curtains and lighting up everything in the room with a wonderful glow. The second was Jolene herself. She was ready for round 3. So we knock it out again, and it's even better than the first 2 rounds. And now it's time to get the day started. We end up getting out of bed and in her kitchen. And the first thing she says to me, the very first thing is, "I can't believe I slept with you." And I'm thinking, damn, we just finished round 3 and now you're having second thoughts? And then she said something else to me. The second thing she said was, "You can't tell anyone." She was concerned about her reputation. No words at all about how wonderful our evening had been or what I wanted for breakfast or whether I wanted some coffee. And I'm thinking, are we back in high school? But I'm not the type of guy to brag, so I promised her that I would not say anything to anyone. A few minutes later, I realized why Jolene had said these things. As I was getting myself fully dressed, she had turned on the TV and was sitting there watching some awful sitcom. I started to say something to her, but then I stopped because I realized that all of her brain power was focused on the sitcom characters. Every time they would tell a joke, she'd think deeply about it for 10 or 12 seconds and then slowly start to laugh. I was fascinated by this process. I had not seen anything like it before or since. And it was at that point that I realized that Jolene's intellectual capacity was somewhat limited. I already had had my suspicions, but now they had been confirmed. So that meant when it came to relationships, Jolene was simply following a script. she did not have the brain power to improvise. All she knew was that good girls did not sleep with the guy the first night they met him, which meant that she couldn't believe that she slept with me. And she also knew that good girls protected their reputation, which means that I could not tell anyone. In fact, Jolene went as far as to claim that she had met me on a previous night at GQ's, which was impossible because I had never been there before. But maybe Jolene made an honest mistake. Maybe some other guy did a bunch of groundwork that I benefited from. If so, sorry dude. And as for Jolene, if you're out there somewhere, I owe you an apology as well. In my defense, I kept our secret for 14 years. But today I finally had to spill the beans. I hope it does not ruin your reputation. Tune in next time to find out what happened when JD's hillbilly family dropped by for a hot tub party. In the meantime, like this video if you liked it, share on social media, leave a comment below, and most importantly, subscribe. My name is Range Wilson, and I'll see you next time.